Hello guys and girls, so you join me, the first episode on Carp Chronicles Day Ticket Water. So not only me on this trip, but I've got my old mate Wes. Wes? Where's Wes? Let's have a look, see if we can find him. But anyway, for the meantime, you join us at Doddington Lane Pits. 2 hours almost up the road. Wow, look at this though. In the beautiful setting. We're booked on pit 2, swim 5, and there's a good head of carp in here. You can have a good haul of fish, as they say on the website. Now, Wes and I have fished pit 1 before, and 3-day session, and I must shamefully say that I blanked, but it was high pressure, and this time around, let's have a look up in the sky, and it's only set to get wetter. So enjoy the little bit of sunshine while it lasts, because if you look at my pasty white face, you'd probably say I definitely need some. Anyway, had a few beers with one of my mates last night. Regret it a little bit of a late night, but hey, we're here. I'm on holiday basically, like I say, here for 3 days. So let's have a look. So I'm having a look round. There's only 3 swims on this pit. If you're not familiar with Doddington Lane Pits, have a look on Swimbooker. Well, this will be a bit of a trial for you if you ever want to come down. And the beauty is, yeah, there's 3 swims, both doubles. You can either book up with a mate, and if you're going for the time period that we are, it's only £60 each. But there's no one else, at least for this 24-hour segment of the session, that's actually going to be booked on here. I've walked around what will be our swim and the following swim. There's been a couple of carp close. There's some weed, and then there's been a couple of carp close there. Now, Wes is actually joining us a little bit later. He had a bit of a family trouble, resulting in, I'm out of breath, I think I need to start working out, resulting in him wanting to come later, and with the family situation, I thought it was best for me to drive, just in case he has to leave early. We were going to come down together, a bit of a trial for the France episode that you'll be seeing next month, to make sure we can get all the stuff in the car. He's bought a new car as well, bless him, to make sure that we're sorted. So I'm now taking you around the back of the lake, just where you could have a little look. I know in pit 1 they had little sort of recesses, so you can actually get right in there. So having a look, I think we go this way. Hope I'm allowed around here anyway, we'll soon find out. If we're not, I'm assuming it's around here. And what the bailiffs actually do is they walk round here and chuck some bait in. About 10 kilos a week, he said. So I've gone and bought the house boilie. Look, that's pit 1. You can get right round here and have a look. So it is not tight to the margin fishing. He said fish sort of a rod length off towards the reeds, and you should be all right. So, but my old mucker has got the bait boat, and you're not allowed leader here. And actually, it's a bit of a longer chuck than anticipated. So I craftily wanted to come round and see if I could winkle a fish out before he gets here. Shh, don't tell him that. But yeah, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to get there. So I'm going to set up, and I'm probably going to put 3 over the weed with very minimal bait for the first little segment. He shouldn't be too much longer, but here's the lake here. Haven't seen any fish this side. I mean, I can't really get down there to have a look, but it was worth walking around. It's always good to have a walk around and a little look, isn't it? So I'm gonna get myself through these brambles. There's no one on pit 1 either. There you go, have a little look. We were on swim 1, I believe, over there last time. So yeah, let's see what we can do. So I'm going to get over there, get the rod set up, just going to dot them around along the weed, kind of take over the swim for a few hours, you know, make the most of it. Dot them down there, little minimal bait, and yeah, just see if we can winkle one out before he gets here. See you then. So Wes is here now, and we've got the bait boat in the middle of the lake because he's actually walking around here. There's a little pipe here, and he's seen, he reckons, 10 carp all shoaled up, swirling away under the tree. So he's actually decided to walk around here and guide the boat tight up rather than working it from this end. So yeah, he was like, come on mate, let's get your rod on there. So legend. Hopefully that'll mean an early evening bite if they are still there. So yeah, fingers crossed. Wes has put his rod sort of along here sporadically, quite tight, and it was only when he was just chucking some house pellet along this bank that he did notice the fish stirring up there. So yeah, fingers crossed that produces a bite. So let's talk about the tactics then. So yes, my old mucker Wes bought some house pellet to chuck in, and I bought some house boilie as well, squid ink, quite potent actually, quite impressed for a house boilie, and also bought good old faithful DNA bugs, and I'm going to try the boilie only approach a bit later in the session, but for now, you know, filling the bait boat up with just a parcel of bait tight to that reed and tree line to the left and back. We've kind of taken over this lake because luckily we're the only ones on here, so we're always commenting how peaceful it is anyway when we come to this venue, but even more so when you've got no one surrounding you. So that's the beauty of places like this, isn't it? You know, I know it is very popular, but you know, it's not high pressure like for instance when we go to Linear, we try and do it one session a year at least, and you've got people surrounding you, so it is really nice. And kudos to Doddington Lane Pits owners and bailiffs, good bunch of guys there as well, where fish safety is paramount, but they're not on top of you all the time, which I like as well. Do you know what I mean? Checking up. We saw the bailiff literally once when he come around to do his sort of weekly feed. So yeah, really impressed again on how well run this is, and you've got space to breathe. I mean, they probably could have fit another 3, 4, 5 double swims on this lake and the one adjoining as well, but I like how they've kept it minimal. And we all know I'm sure we all know a day ticket venue where it's like cram them in, get as much money out of them as possible, and it certainly doesn't feel like this here. And even on the main lake, the Moon Lake, it is really good. So if you get the chance, go on to Swim Booker and have a little look. And the carp are absolutely stunning out of this world, carp in here. So yeah, so let's have a look. So we are actually going into the first evening here. Been very quiet with shows, although from memory on the pit 1, if it's anything like that, it was more shows in the morning and more of a morning bite time than anything. But yeah, so we start off by fishing right up against features, finding where the shelf is on the end using Wes's deeper sonar, and yeah, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be able to see a fish or two. Let's certainly see. Well, a very quiet night, you know, tight against that back and side bank for both of us. And they do say early bird catches the worm. So I'm up early here and notice some carp fizzing away along that weed where, you know, kind of where they were the first morning. So I've decided to wang one over there and just put a few free offerings over the top to see whether that actually works. They're obviously down there rooting around in what is quite, you know, quite soft silt. So yeah, obviously being low pressure as well, it helps because, of course, it brings the bloodworm higher up in the silt. Thus, usually why you, you know, get a few on the feed, don't you? So thought I'd just pop it over there. I promise you, I'm not crossing my mate's lines there. Might seem a bit cheeky, and just pop a few over the top. and just see whether that works. And it certainly did. Let's have a look. Yeah. Nice. Well, I had a little nap and Wes woke me up playing the Blankety Blank song, and he said, "Oi, you got fizzing on your spot." And then this ran into the Canadian pondweed that I'm fishing tight over, and we thought we'd lost it. Wes even got his waders on and then went into water to try and turn it. So we left it 10 minutes and then I found that it sort of pulled its way out, so we pulled it in a clump of weed. Luckily this is still on the end. What a cracker. Yeah, nice one. That's well lucky then. Yeah, what a cracking little fish. And whilst we watched these carp basking in the sunshine, which Wes tried stalking for so long, they just weren't having it. It was trying floaters, it was trying bottom baits tight to these trees. But anyway, let's talk about the comment competition, and this is number 2 of 10. So this question might require some local knowledge, but the wonders of the internet, you know, you should be able to find it, fingers crossed. So there was a famous carp named Dippy, and it was actually in the Angling Times, I believe, to be the record river carp. Now, it didn't come from the river at all, it got washed in the river. But my question to you is, which river did it reside in? So is it A, the River Nene, B, the River Gipping, C, the little stream down Drury Lane near where the Muffin Man lives? So, like I say, it might take you a time or two to Google it, but good luck. Remember, if you're the first person to put the answer in correctly, that gives you 1 point for the tombola, and there's 10 questions in total. So keep your eyes peeled for upcoming videos to give you the best possible chance of winning fishing vouchers of your choice. Well guys, it's been quite a tough session so far. We were forecast a day of rain. I don't think that's helped. Wes is over there with his camera, watching the fish bask around and probably trying to get an idea of what to do tonight. What I'm thinking about for the last night is putting 3 over this weed where I had that fish, quite tightly together like I do on the other videos, and then perhaps just feeding a good amount of boilie over the top, and just, you know, although I'm putting all my eggs in one basket, sometimes you need a lot of eggs to make a good omelette. So I don't know if that kind of works. So, you know, perhaps it gives me a better chance if any fish move onto the spot. But we'll keep an eye on the water going into this evening and see what we can do. And that is exactly what I decided to do. I must know, I didn't record it, but I did have a fish right tight to the margin after the bailiff came round, chucked his house pellet in, and I said to Wes, I need to put one of my rods right on top of that. And we were in awe, really. We literally just got it down. I settled it nicely, and it literally went within 2 minutes. But you can see me here clearing the spot. I mean, it is quite clear just over the weed, but a little top tip for anyone, I've said this about tench fishing before, if you can get a weed rake and just stir up that bottom, especially for tench, it really does help. And although it's turned a little bit higher pressure than what we anticipated, we were meant to have rain today, like I've just said, I still believe that stirring up the bottom, getting rid of some of them strands of weed along that initial edge will really, help, especially when it comes to that morning bite. So we went into the night hopeful, and during the night, Wes had a scream and run tight to his left rod. Now, his left rod, he took the bait boat out and got it right tight to the corner where I recorded them carp. As you can see me there, I took a bit more weed than what I probably should have, but Bob Marley would be really jealous. But anyway, yeah, he lost one through the night, and then in the morning, literally half an hour before we had to leave, I had a take and unfortunately lost that one as well. So 3 bites I had in total, 1 fish landed, but trust me, it can fish a lot better here. And if you want peace and quiet, especially if no one else has been booked on like we were lucky to have, this is certainly a pit to have a look at. So go over to Swimbooker, take a look, and good luck if you go. Well, plenty more sessions coming up. I'm going to be down at my usual pit again very soon, and like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, it's mine and Wes's first trip to France, so keep an eye on that. Jontrier is where we'll be. Hopefully be able to show you a few more fish than this session. So thanks for stopping by, and tight lines on your next session.